A Christian woman hid Jews from the Nazis, lost everything, and still chose to forgive. This is the true story of Corrie ten Boom. Corrie ten Boom was born on April 15, 1892, in Haarlem, a peaceful town in the Netherlands. She grew up in a warm and loving home where faith was at the center of daily life. Her father, Casper ten Boom, was not just a watchmaker, but a man deeply committed to living out his Christian beliefs. His watch shop was a familiar place for the community, a place of kindness, honesty, and quiet generosity. The family's home, built in the late 1800s, was more than just a house. It was a sanctuary filled with prayer, love, and an unshakable trust in God. From an early age, Corrie learned to see the world through the eyes of compassion. Her family believed in helping others, no matter who they were or what risks might come. Casper often reminded his children that serving others was the true path of faith. Corrie followed his example closely, growing into a woman who combined courage with kindness, intelligence with humility. She was the first woman in the Netherlands to become a licensed watchmaker, a skill she used not only to help her family, but also as a symbol of breaking barriers in a male-dominated world. Life in Haarlem was quiet and simple until the storm of World War II changed everything. In May 1940, Nazi Germany invaded the Netherlands, bringing fear, oppression, and cruelty. For many, life became a constant battle to survive. For the ten Boom family, it became a call to action. The Nazis began persecuting Jews, forcing families to hide or flee for their lives. Corrie and her family could not ignore the suffering around them. Deep in their hearts, they believed that every human being was precious, created in God's image. They refused to stand by while innocent people were hunted and killed. With faith as their guide, they decided to become part of the resistance movement. The ten Booms secretly built a hiding place in their own home, a small, hidden room behind a false wall in Corrie's bedroom. This cramped space was designed to shelter Jews who were escaping Nazi capture. It was dark, cold, and barely big enough for a few people, but it became a beacon of hope in a world filled with darkness. The family also helped obtain false identification papers, arranged safe routes for escape, and provided food and medical care. Their watch shop became a secret hub for the underground network. Over time, more than 800 people found refuge thanks to the ten Boom family's bravery. Despite the danger, they never hesitated. They believed that risking their own lives to save others was not only right but necessary. Their faith gave them strength in moments of fear. Casper often said that opening their home to those in need was a simple act of obedience to God's love. But such courage came at a high price. In early 1944, a Dutch informant betrayed them. Nazi soldiers raided their home, searching for hidden refugees. The secret room was found empty during the raid, but Corrie, her sister Betsy, and their father Casper were arrested and sent to prison. The rest of the family was left to face the terrifying reality of what was to come. This marked the beginning of a long and painful journey for Corrie ten Boom. Her quiet life of faith and service would soon be tested in ways she could never have imagined. After the raid, Corrie, her sister Betsy, and their father Casper were taken to Scheveningen prison, a place infamous for its harsh conditions and brutal interrogations. Casper, already in his 80s, was offered freedom if he promised to stop helping Jews. But his answer was clear. If someone came to his door needing help, he would open it again. Just 10 days after this refusal, Casper passed away, never wavering from his faith and commitment. Corrie and Betsy faced a grueling transfer to the WWII concentration camp and later to Ravensbrück, one of the most feared women's camps in Nazi Germany. The conditions were horrifying. Overcrowded barracks filled with lice and rats, meager rations that barely kept them alive, relentless forced labor, and a constant shadow of death. Despite the unimaginable suffering, the sisters' faith remained unshaken. They managed to smuggle a small Bible hidden inside Corrie's dress, which became a source of hope not only for them, but also for other prisoners. They secretly organized Bible readings and prayer meetings, offering a flicker of light in the crushing darkness of the camp. Betsy's faith shone especially bright. She believed they were meant to bring hope to others, even in this place of despair. When Corrie would feel overwhelmed by fear or anger, Betsy reminded her that there is no pit so deep that God's love is not deeper still. These words became Corrie's anchor. Despite the hunger, cold, and cruelty, the sisters showed compassion. They shared what little they had, prayed for their enemies, and helped comfort fellow prisoners. Slowly, others began to notice the peace that seemed to surround them in a place defined by suffering and death. Yet the physical toll on Betsy was severe. Her health, always fragile, worsened quickly. Corrie watched helplessly as her sister weakened day by day, her body succumbing to the horrors around them. In December 1944, Betsy died in Ravensbrück. Her final thoughts were full of hope and vision. She believed they had a message for the world. No pit is so deep that God's love is not deeper still. She urged Corrie to tell this truth when she returned to freedom. Just 12 days after Betsy's death, Corrie was unexpectedly released. Later, she learned this was due to a clerical error. Every other woman her age was sent to the gas chambers shortly after. Corrie saw this release not as chance but as divine grace, believing God had spared her for a greater purpose. Returning to the Netherlands was bittersweet. Much was changed, but her family's home was now a refuge for survivors of the Holocaust. Instead of retreating from the world, Corrie chose to share her story. She traveled across Europe and later the world, speaking about faith, suffering, and the power of forgiveness. Years after the war, during a speech in Germany, a man approached Corrie. He was one of the former Ravensbrück guards. He told her he had become a Christian and asked if she could forgive him. Corrie felt a flood of emotions, anger, pain, memories, but she remembered Betsy's words and prayed for strength. Then she chose forgiveness, shaking his hand and letting go of the hatred she carried. That moment brought her an overwhelming peace, showing that forgiveness is a choice that frees the soul. Corrie ten Boom dedicated the rest of her life to spreading the message of hope, love, and forgiveness. She wrote several books, including the internationally famous The Hiding Place, which was later adapted into a film inspiring millions. Her message reached audiences in over 60 countries. She spoke to churches, schools, prisons, and countless gatherings, sharing how faith had sustained her through the darkest trials. Her story became a beacon for those wrestling with pain, trauma, hatred, and loss. Corrie also opened homes for Holocaust survivors and victims of war, places where broken souls could find rest and healing. She ministered not only to survivors, but also to former Nazis and prisoners, believing that love and grace could transform even the hardest hearts. Even as she grew older and faced health challenges, Corrie never stopped speaking. Her gentle authority and peaceful presence left a lasting impression on all who met her. She passed away on April 15, 1983, on her 91st birthday, a symbol of a life lived fully in obedience to God's call. Corrie ten Boom's life is a powerful example of faith tested by fire. She was neither rich nor famous, but an ordinary woman who made extraordinary choices grounded in trust in God. Her story teaches us that true courage means doing what is right even when it costs everything. That forgiveness is not weakness, but a path to freedom. That God's light can shine in the deepest darkness. What about you? Are you carrying pain, anger, or fear? Is there someone you need to forgive, maybe even yourself? Corrie's story shows that forgiveness and healing are possible, not through our own strength, but through the grace of God. If this story touched your heart, please share this video with someone who needs hope, and subscribe to Stories of Unshakable Faith. We post inspiring real-life testimonies daily to encourage your walk with God. Remember, no matter how dark the night, God is always with you.